Recording. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take a second to welcome everybody on the call and hope that everyone is doing well. As always, oh, you know what? I did not grab an oil.
Oh, yeah, how you going?
It's your turn. You got to pick an oil.
Okay, well, I'll be back.
Start. So Dana's going to, she's going to pick the oil of the night for you to use in line with what we're going to talk about. But as usual, let's take a couple minutes. Does anyone have any recognitions that they would like to give? It looks like December is turning out to be a very good month for a lot of individuals. So I'm going to take a second and just allow that if you guys have any recognitions you'd like to give.
I would like to recognize Kate. She's really stepped up her business. And although she hasn't unfortunately had a direct sign up from the Facebook class, actually Leah and I did have signups. So she is doing her part to be a resource and a tool for other people on Leverage. And we know that building on Facebook and online takes a while to get traction. So she's got more of her team engaged on Facebook. She's getting her team excited. She's going to be having a lot of her downline do some classes. So I know that January is going to be huge for her, and I'm proud of her for stepping up and being a leader.
I did get a second to pop in on you guys' class, Kate, and it looks like it went very, very well. So I do want to say good job to you. So thank you for that, Tashina. You picked out your oil?
Yes.
We'll see oil. Oh, I like that one.
Northern Lights Black Spruce.
That was a freebie this month, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That was a promo item.
Yep. And we're going to talk about promo.
Right. So take a second to oil up and we'll get started. So tonight's topic is going to be about leverage. Leverage within your organization and your team, but also how to leverage promos to get the most bang for your buck and get the most momentum out of your team. So Dana, you have a few thoughts you want to share, and then I'm going to chime in as well, and then we'll open it up to those on the call for those who would like to share as well. So go ahead, take it away.
Yep. So I wanted to start with our monthly promos. So one thing in one of the 12 Days of Diamonds that I really appreciated they talking about is in general, when we think about, we run a business, but the beauty about our business, we don't have to come up with the promos, right? So like when we think of how we ended December, and if we had people on our team that, you know, maybe placed $100 orders or $190 orders, or PV orders, I mean, they were giving those free items. We didn't have to check their orders, go back, make sure that it qualified, and make sure they got their items, right? Young Living does that. They do it for us. We don't have to think of, oh, January's coming, so what things do I want to give away? What freebies do I want to send out? We have that leverage. All we have to simply do is make people aware of these promotions. So as we go into the new month, we go into the new year, we want to really look in our downline. We want to look at our personal enrollments, and we want to make sure that they're aware of these promotions. Because a lot of times I'll look at, you know, the organization, and it might be somebody that, you know, placed a $92 order. Well, or 92 PV, I should say PV, not dollars, because it doesn't always equate the same. But so I'm like, your PV is at 92. Literally, if you just ate more PV, like
put a lemon in,
right, just something small, you would get a whole free oil that's almost worth $20. Like, it only makes sense that you're going to get more and more bang for your buck. So it could be just little things like that, or it might be at the 190, or they're close to the 300. So really making sure people are aware of the promotions and things like that. I know for me, I've never paid for frankincense. You know, it's always been free. So this is something that people, they can't get this at going to a supermarket or going to a grocery store. So it's so important that they're educated and understand what type of promotions that are out there and how they can really benefit the most out of their accounts. And with that in mind too, I just wanted to also key in and help people appreciate with their essential rewards, the monthly order, because that's another thing that, again, there's so much leverage when we think about that. So for the first 3 months, you're at that 10%. They're getting, you know, 10% back on everything. So when you think about that again, as that progressively goes up, and they after 25 months reach that 25%, again, there's nowhere that they can buy their toothpaste at such a value, because you're getting all of that back. And when people can kind of better grasp and understand that, it doesn't seem as overwhelming when they're purchasing their products or purchasing their items. So it's so important to just like make sure we're educating people on that, help them really, really appreciate all of the things that they could be benefiting from and really getting.
If I can chime in, because I don't know if you're going to actually touch on this or not, but one of the reasons that's so important, and I love promos, is because I know for me personally, that's kind of what got me to expand beyond oils, because a lot of the promo items that you receive, they're not like these piddly little oils. Like sometimes you will get a lemon, but like Dana said, like we get frankincense more than I can count, right? And frankincense, that's an expensive bottle, not like the little bottle. We're getting like a 15 milliliter bottle, or 1 month we got a free package of nitros or what have you. And so those promos are a great way for individuals to not only get what they want, but also to start to expand and replace some of the things that they're already using. So like Dana said, if we make individuals fully aware of what the promos are for the month, and especially start early in the month, then they can fully take advantage of it, because there might be something that maybe they want to try and they're not ready to make that financial commitment to try to get that product. But if it's on promo, then they can kill two birds with one stone. And so it's very important that you use those promos, because as part of their ER, not only are they getting a certain percentage back when they place their order, but now they're getting free products that they may not necessarily have tried on their own or even thought to try. And they're also helping to grow your business as well. So I didn't know if I took that from you. That's what you want to touch on.
That's great.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep. The other thing I wanted to talk about when we talk about leverage is events. I think this is so important to build a culture around events, because again, we can only touch so many people at a time. The type of education and things that people need, some might vibe with your personality and some might not vibe with your personality. So it's important to have and be able to promote and let people know about events coming up. I think it's awesome. I don't know if everybody else, I know with our ER order, we got the calendar. I don't know if everybody else got it, but the cool thing is we know every single rally for 2018, all the way up to October. So there's no excuses to be like, oh, well, I don't know when the next rally is. We got all the dates. We know it there. So we can have it in our calendar now. We can start with our teams and help promoting those rallies and getting people at the rally. And the beautiful thing about the rallies is they're throughout the United States. So there's really no excuses. There's no reason why anybody can't be a part of this culture. They can't be a part of something. So it would be awesome if everybody gets to convention. That's another great big event. But we know realistically not everyone's going to possibly be there. But now Young Living is saying, you know what? Every 3 months, we are going to all gather together. So those rallies are huge. Like it's so important to make sure that we're really promoting, we're really getting people there so they can see how big Young Living is. Because I think sometimes people, they know they're your friends or whatnot, and they might see you doing it. But it's different when you see, oh, wait, but there's a psychologist that is using oils in their practice. Like that's huge. Or, they might see, a chiropractor or a doctor of some other type, or a nurse practitioner using these oils and how they're using them. It's going to have so much more impact, because it's not, oh, it just smells good, or oh, that's a nice aroma, but they can actually see the huge impact that these are having on other people. So it's so important that we chalk these events up and that we're getting people plugged into them. So whether you're here in Michigan or you're, somewhere else out of state, there's a rally that's going to be near you, which is awesome.
Yeah, and I'll add to that, because we talk a lot about the different personality types within this organization and within this business. I know that I'm primarily a blue, but I do have some green in me as well. But as a blue, I want to be where the party's at. So I know that every time that a rally is hosted or there's any type of event where it's more of a party setting, I'm automatically there. and you might have individuals within your organization that are the same, that maybe they're not coming to your classes because that's not something that they identify with. So if we're promoting different types of events, then you can touch on each and every personality type and find a way to reach those individuals that maybe you haven't been able to in the past. So very important that not only are you promoting Young Living's events, but it's nice that we have the Facebook group that we can tap into each other's circles and tap into each other's events as well. Like Dana mentioned, with the Young Living calendar, we know all of the major events that are being hosted around the country for Young Living. But the nice thing about social media and having an online Facebook group is, let's say you're like us and you have teams growing in other states, then where are they going to go to get their education? Where are they going to go to get their sense of belonging? Where are they going to go to just pretty much find out more? They're going to go to events. So we have to make that available for them and promote those as if they were our events, not only to the individual that we're inviting, but also to those within our community. So it's very important to promote those events.
So I did want to just quickly run down the rallies and the convention. So these are dates that you want to have marked and you want to be well aware of. So the next rally that we have coming up is January 13th. After that, there will be a rally April 7th. And then in June, that's when we have the Grand Convention. That'll be June 13th through 16th. If at all possible, you can be there. You want to be there. It's life-changing. July 14th will be the next rally after convention. And then the last rally for 2018 is going to be October 6th. So you want to make sure you have those dates in your calendar and already planning to make sure you have people there. And whatever number you had to the last one, add to that for the next one.
Mm-hmm. The rally that's on the 13th, let's talk a little bit about that, because that is actually shaping up to be something that's going to be very fun. The theme is 70s, yep. Right?
70s game night.
Yeah, 70s game night. So I know Dana and I are hosting. Are we allowed to say what we're hosting?
Yep, the Family Feud.
Okay, so we're hosting Family Feud. There's going to be a few other games there as well. So it's really going to be a fun event. Shannon Hudson and her organization are taking the lead in helping to plan our event. But for those who are your blue personalities, this is going to be something to get to, because it sounds like it's going to be very fun. And then I very briefly wanted to talk about Grand Convention and why it's so important to promote that and get people there. You'll notice a huge growth within your organization if someone can get to Grand Convention, because that's when, I know at least for me, this became real. And the other aspect of it was, I remember getting there and walking around seeing everyone who had their lanyards with executive and higher. And as somebody who went to convention, not interested in oils, like I honestly was just going because my wife was forcing me to. Like, we bought our tickets the day of or the day before, right? The first time we went to convention. And when I got there, like, for me, it was eye-opening, because it was a stadium full of people who take this business seriously. And there were men and women, like different types of people that I could identify with, that allowed me to be able to say, okay, this is something that we can take and run with. And we made it our goal to come back to convention every single year and to rank up every time that we go to convention. And we've been able to do that every single time that we went. So start now, because convention is the 13th through the 16th of June. People have to make travel arrangements because it is in Salt Lake City. So they'll want to be able to afford to get their flight and their hotel. And how will they know if we don't promote in advance? It's almost January, starting tomorrow. So if they need to make travel arrangements, if they need to save money to be able to go, make it sound exciting, because it is. I mean, they have parties like last year or this year when we went, we got to go to a concert, like a free concert. And we actually sat on the bottom floor with all the diamonds. And it was really enjoyable. It was really fun. They have rallies, and they had a carnival and game night that was in front of the stadium. So there really is something for everyone. We just have to promote all of those events so that people are aware, and then give them time to be able to make arrangements so they can attend.
Did anybody else want to add about different promos and events?
I don't know if I have anything to add other than just ditto. I mean, I try to do the same thing with my team. And, you know, I send out postcards, I send out text messages, I send out emails because I don't know who's going to do what. And if you're under executive, then handwritten postcards or handwritten mailers is the way to go. Once you get executive and you're making that $550 per month and you have an actual marketing budget that you can spend, you have your ER covered, your 300 ER covered, and then you have a marketing budget, you know, you can get a system that will email out, you can get a system that will do postcards in a faster way for you. But that is some of the things that if there's not an event or something specific that I'm trying to promote, that I will send postcards out about. I will take note, and you know, once every 3 months I will run the report of people who spend between 50 and 99, and I'll specifically give them the information. Here's what you'll earn, because a lot of times those people have a team, whether it was strategically placed or not, and they're missing out on checks. Or I will see a person who has placed practically 3 orders in a row, but they wait till the last minute at the end of the month, and then, you know, I'll send them the information for the benefit of ER. So that is definitely something that I try to promote and re-educate on a regular basis of my team. And then the same thing with staying plugged into everything. I mean, I can't explain what a difference it does. It makes the business real. It makes you consistent. I see it on my team, people who are plugged in, then they're not plugged in, or vice versa. And that's when they're not plugged in is when they stop using their oils on a daily basis, when their orders get, you know, sporadic. The more plugged in, this really is probably the largest key of Young Living, because you can Google about essential oils. You can get good essential oils. They won't be the best, because Young Living is the best. I have no doubt about that. But you can get some benefits, and you can Google on your own, but it's going to take you a lot longer. If you plug into the educational system and the events, your education will go faster, and you will be more consistent and congruent because you're around a group of people with those same goals. Whether it's your idea that you want to build a business or not, you should be plugged in for the education part.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because that's one of the main goals of what we do, right, is education. So if we're not plugged into educating ourselves, how can we help and assist and educate others, right? So very good, Tashina. As far as, can we shift gears a little bit? Did we finish that topic yet? Mm-hmm. So in the same line, I also wanted to talk about leverage and why it's so important to use events like this to leverage yourself within your team and your organization. Because what is the guy's Stevie Bags? Did I say that right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to call him Stevie Nicks, and my wife keeps telling me that's not right.
Isn't Stevie Nicks a woman?
Yeah, Stevie Nicks is a woman. Okay. But so Stevie Bags put out a video a couple days ago about leverage, especially when it comes to active and passive income. And so I wanted to touch on this very briefly because your promotions and promoting events actually allows you to do this. So one of the nice things that he talked about was being able to earn money while you sleep.
Swiss cheese.
Why did he call it Swiss cheese?
That is my new saying, Swiss cheese.
You have to explain that one.
Sales while I sleep soundly. Okay. Everybody need cheese. Everybody need money. Yeah. But the best type of cheese is Swiss cheese.
Right.
You making money while you sleep.
So think about this. If you're promoting the promos for the month, you're promoting events, and you're still having your events, then what do you think that's doing for individuals? You've done that one piece of work at the beginning of the month, and you have no control over when those people receive them, when they place their orders, what events they go to, but you've at least put that out there. So think about this feeling. It's nice. I have a routine. Every morning I get up and I check and see what our organization has done. And Dana will even tell me some things that I miss when they're like, oh, so-and-so has placed an order. And it'll be probably someone that we haven't had a chance to speak to recently, but maybe they got a promo postcard in the mail, or they saw something on Facebook and they went online and they placed an order. That is passive income. And so it's getting paid for something that you've done once. So when we're talking about promoting these events and we're talking about making sure that people are notified about promos, it's not something that's going to be take a lot of your time, but it's just something that if you do it and put forth the effort at the beginning of the month, it will yield you results later on down in the month, or even within the next 30, 60, 90 days. And so a lot of it is just having to retrain our brain and say, can I focus on this little bit of work in the beginning so that I can reap large benefits down the line? And so I thought that was actually very good, because Stevie kind of touched on that, but he also helped. One of the things he was talking about is realize that accomplishing your goal, whether it's to rank up or to help as many individuals as possible, to live chemical free, whatever your goal or your motivation is, realize that it's not just about you doing it all. Network marketing or multi-level marketing works because it has a bunch of people doing a little. So what we're talking about, promoting your business, promoting events, promoting products, it's not something that takes a lot of time. It's not something that's huge. It takes a lot of effort. It's that small amount of work that if everyone does it, will yield big dividends for your business, will yield much benefits. So I think that's something that we overlook sometimes, because we look at what it takes to reach certain ranks and to grow and advance in your business. And it's just, we're like, I want to get there and I don't see it happening. Just realize it's a bunch of people each doing a small part to get you there. So I did want to shift gears and talk about that briefly, because I kind of felt like it kind of tied in. Does anybody have anything that they would like to add along that line?
Yeah, this definitely goes back to some of the discussion that we had about tools, because you want to use all the tools that you can and leverage as much as you can. So we know that there's tons of Facebook groups out there. We know that we have awesome, amazing, engaged upline that are all working the business and trying to get their goals, and they do some classes and we do some classes. But just look at your schedule and decide what works for you. If you're going to have 1 class per week, 2 class per week, and try to partner with someone. If you don't have anybody to partner with, ask your upline, or if you know that there's somebody that wants to build in your downline, build with them. Don't try to do everything yourself. And I think that Dana and Anthony, you guys have done an awesome job with creating your presence online and creating tools. And that's something that I realized that I needed to do as well. I seriously, when someone asks a question, I want to be able to direct them back to a book, a blog post, an article, or a YouTube video that I did. So that's how you leverage, because when you do that, you're actually training that person. Number one, they're going to think every time I ask them a question, they give me something else. I could just go look it up myself. Mm-hmm. Or when someone else asks them the question, they can be like, I don't actually remember that recipe that she sent me, but she sent me it in a YouTube video, and they can duplicate that. So your leverage is going to be through your tools as well. And then in addition to that, please use your upline. Like, use your upline. I can't go to all of Amber's classes. I can't go to all of Leah's classes, but I mark interested to every single class. Because what if that shows up on my Facebook page and that day worked better for that person that saw it on my Facebook page than the class that I did? So use your upline, use your upline, use your upline, and use your tools. It is all for you to have other things for you to use in your business. And in the end, it's all going to come back to you. Like, again, I fully admitted that this at the beginning of this call, that Leah and I were able to leverage a class that Kate did. And I've invited her to come to our class on Tuesday, where she gets to sit back and do absolutely nothing and invite anyone that she thinks is interested in exercise. That's how network marketing is supposed to work. If you're not using it that way, you're self-employed. And you won't get freedom if you're not leveraging all of your upline, your tools, your events, things of that nature.
And it will take you a lot longer to get there as well, and you'll burn yourself out in the process. So, like Tashina said, it's very important to use your tools and to leverage yourself within your organization. So, with everything that we talked about in mind, we're down to the last 5 minutes. Does anyone have any events that they would like to take the time to promote now, whether they're online classes, local events, what have you?
So I can go first. So Anthony and I are doing, for everyone that was not in Michigan or was not able to get to Leah's house, and for everyone that has not yet viewed the Facebook, Anthony and I are doing the New Year, New You, or Best of You in 2018 class. And that is going to encompass everyone. So we're not just talking about weight management. We're talking about people that need to bulk up. We're talking about people reducing soreness, having great skin in the wintertime, anything that has to do with, people sometimes set goals in January. I set mine in September. But people are thinking about that. So if you have anyone that has said something about some weight management, exercise, or fitness goals, it's a public class. You can feel free to invite them to that class and use that. I also have a vendor event in Southfield. I don't remember the exact location, on Saturday. And again, that's a public event. If you have someone that needs one more exposure, I have all, tons of different product lines out on the table. You can bring them by and then later do a one-on-one with them to do that. And then, as already mentioned, everybody has to get to a rally. So we actually will have the one here in Michigan. And I urge you, if you can't get to one, I would rather get to a bigger one, try to get to one in your area. If you can't, sign up as a host and invite the 2 people that are on your team and sit on your couch and do it together. Just make sure that you're doing it in a group. And then we are doing one in Spanish. So if you have anyone on the team, the Happy Oilers team is close to 750 people. So all of the Spanish speakers. I do finally have another co-host. I'm so excited. I have an actual Hispanic person that is co-hosting with me. And then Kate has also been gracious enough to assist with posting the videos and using her limited Spanish that she has. And we're actually going to start doing a couple more Spanish classes this month. So we're really excited to get that going for the team. And again, some of you guys may not speak Spanish, but you have signed up 2 or 3 people that Spanish is their first language. Leverage us, use our classes, and later we'll be plugging into your classes.
Yeah, I think that's very good. One thing I just wanted to briefly touch on before we end is think about too, I looked at the trends for the past 2 years that Dana and I have been involved. January and February tend to be very big months. So with that in mind, if you have not already planned events, plan them. Take advantage of the ones that are already available as well. But many people are setting their resolutions for the year. They're thinking about joining a gym, making healthier choices. And so leverage that. Like I mentioned, January and February. I think February this year was our biggest month. So take advantage of it now so that you'll see the growth and the expansion that you want. So very good. We'll continue to keep people updated within the Facebook groups as well about events coming up. But our time has come and we're trying to stick to a half an hour. We actually did very good tonight. And there's 30 seconds left. So with that, I'm going to set you guys all free and let you go about your business. The 7th class. Is that, for Facebook, okay, for your business and taxes, right? Tashina, that's the name of the class, or what was the name of the class again?
Yes, I guess classes is the right. It's going to replace the Zoom for next week. Just make sure everybody knows that they need to be Facebook for the taxes, your business and taxes.
What time does that start?
It's going to be 8:30. It's going to replace our Zoom for next Sunday.
Okay. So great promo for that, because that's one thing that we do like is we do get many tax breaks. So educate yourself on that as well. So that will be on the 7th. But with that said, now I'm going to set everybody free. And I hope to be in contact with you all. If you have any questions, concerns, anything, reach out. Until then, stay healthy, and we'll see you guys next week. Everyone have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.